In today's video, this is the continuation or our last video, and here what we are going to discuss further is introduction, the classification that we are left with, then their subtypes, and then there is an interesting quiz. As we already have discussed, the monosaccharides and the oligosaccharides, now we are left with the polysaccharides. So polysaccharides are the long polymers of monosaccharide. They contain more than 10 sugar units. They can be homopolysaccharide, like they can be made by of the same monosaccharide group, or they can be heteropolysaccharide in nature. The homosaccharide, like the starch, glycogen, cellulose, chitin, insulin. The heteropolysaccharides, like the peptidoglycan, hyaluronic acid, like those. So let's continue with the oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides are comparatively very less sweet in taste. As you can see here, like wheat, onions, and these things are less sweet, right? So polysaccharides are less sweet in taste. They are less soluble in water, right? On hydrolysis, they yield 2 to 10 monosaccharide. The one yielding 2 monosaccharides are called as disaccharides, and those that yielding 3 are called as trisaccharides. And then the covalent bond that exists between two monosaccharide is called as a glycosidic bond. As you can see in this picture here, there is a glycosidic linkage that exists between the two monosaccharide, right? The two monosaccharide, there is a glycosidic linkage that exists. Okay, so the molecular formula of an oligosaccharide is C12H22O11. The most important disaccharides are maltose, sucrose and lactose. ठीक है, ये ग्लाइकोसिडिक लिंकेज है जो कि एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है between the two monosaccharides. ग्लाइकोसिडिक लिंकेज क्या होता है? ग्लाइकोसिडिक लिंकेज होता है हाइड्रोलिसिस, रिमूवल ऑफ वाटर, लाइक यू कैन सी हियर. यहाँ और यहाँ पे फिर ग्लाइकोसिडिक बॉन्ड एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है, राइट? देन polysaccharides कैन बी हाइड्रोलाइज्ड, लाइक ऑल पोली. सबसे पहली क्वालिटी इनकी ये है कि ये सारे हाइड्रोलाइज्ड हो जाते हैं, and they can all form glycosidic linkage. They are usually branched, like you can see here. They are totally tasteless in nature. Polysaccharides have the molecular weight that they have the highest molecular weight. These are only strongly soluble in water, like हल्का सा हो जाएंगे, इससे ज़्यादा ये soluble नहीं होंगे. जो बहुत ज़्यादा बायोलॉजिकली इंपॉर्टेंट पोलीसेक्राइड्स हैं वो हमारे पास हैं स्टार्च, ग्लाइकोजन, सेलुलोज. जैसे स्टार्च सीड्स में प्रेजेंट होती है, ग्लाइकोजन हमारे मसल और लीवर में होती है, देन डेक्सट्रिन, एगर, पैक्टिन, राइट? So these are some of the most important polysaccharide. Let's discuss the one that are the most important, like the starch. As we know that starch is always present in fruits, grains, and seeds, right? So it is the main source of carbohydrate for most of the animal. On hydrolysis, it yield glucose. Then the starches are of further two type. It can be amylose, it can be amylopectin. Amylose starches have unbranched change of glucose, and they are soluble in hot water. ठीक है? They are soluble in hot water, right? But amylopectin, they have branch change, and they are very insoluble in either hot or cold water. इनका ब्रांच स्ट्रक्चर होता है, as you can see, They have branch structure, and this is the unbranched structure, right? These starches, they give blue color with iodine. Then the next one is the glycogen. The glycogen is basically also known as an animal starch, right? It is the chief form of carbohydrate that is stored in the animal body. So it is found abundantly in your liver, in muscles, right? So it is present in the liver and some muscles, right? So it also yield glucose on hydrolysis, as we have learned that all polysaccharide they can be hydrolyzed, so this one as well. Then the next one is cellulose. So it is the most abundant carbohydrate that can be found in nature. Cotton is an example of cellulose, right? So it is a pure cellulose. It is the main constituent of the cell wall in plants, and it is highly insoluble in water. You can see the structure here, it is highly insoluble, right? So it is not digested in the human digestive tract, ठीक है? In the herbivore it is digested because वहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा microorganism होते हैं like bacteria, yeast, protozoa, they are all present in their digestive tract. So these microorganisms they secrete an enzyme called as cellulase जो जिसकी वजह से इसकी digestion हो जाती है. और इसके अलावा the most abundant one is the cellulose, but the second most abundant is chitin. ठीक है, सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जो हमारा abundant कार्बोहाइड्रेट है वो हमारे पास सेलुलोज एंड द सेकंड वन इज कायरन. नाउ देयर इज एन quiz for you guys, right? So polysaccharides are the polymers of what? Monosaccharides, ribose, or amylose. As we know that polysaccharides can be homopolysaccharides or heteropolysaccharide, but they are always the polymers of monosaccharides. The dash is the most abundant carbohydrate in nature. What it could be, cellulose, ribose, or carbon. As we have just discussed, that cellulose is the most abundant, and second to cellulose is the chitin. So cellulose is the correct answer here. So this conclude the end of our lecture. And if you guys got any query, you can ask them below in the comment section, and I'll get back to you guys. Thank you so much for listening.